Okay, so this is Charlotte Bailey reading for Professor Mike Stasko. Professor Mike, hi. Thank you for letting me submit a video portion with my assignment. I'm really glad I'm doing this part in video form because I honestly believe that this format will allow me to express the ideas in my essay more clearly. So to start off with, let's talk about the high stakes in the film. We feel a sense of urgency in both films for two similar reasons. We really care about the characters to start off with. In both cases, it's because of the sympathy we feel for these characters. There's a sense of isolation for both of them, both Wally and the male protagonist. And the point is reinforced throughout the beginning. In the Triplets of Belleville, we see the grandmother struggle to make her grandson happy. And in Wally, we see a robot who tries to find happiness, although he's totally alone. The artistic directors of both of these films gave us time at the beginning to grow attached to the characters as we learn more from them. For American versus Canadian traits, the characters are definitely quirky in different ways. Where Wally is filled with characters who are cute and cuddly and kind of trite in that way, the characters in the Triplets of Belleville have a certain grotesque characteristics about them. Whether they're overly tall, if they stand as though they're walls, if they're incredibly fat or skinny, if they have distorted facial features or expressions, they're incredibly strange. Some of them are also incredibly fat or skinny. Now, the fatness is a theme that's also seen in Wall-E. I think in many family films, children find something both funny and simplistic in bulbous, round shapes. And the big nature of the characters in both films lends themselves well to satisfy both plot and laughter. In Wall-E, we see people have gotten fat as a comment on the society. When it comes to sound, music, lyrics, and dialogue, I found that both these films are incredibly silent for films that kept me entertained. The only words in the movies The Triplets of Belleville are those that are sung, and therefore the music is really the only literal interpretation of the film that is not left up to chance, which I think is sort of a Canadian characteristic as opposed to the American counterpart. Besides that, we find out things only through what we see, and we interpret them as we will, as opposed to being told by the director, this is how it is. I find that in Wall-E, like most American films, there comes a certain point where the director decides that he or she can't allow for any more interpretation and directly tells the audience what's happening or the thought process through a character, directly speaking to another character or directly speaking to the audience.
Completely relevant. Out there is our home. Home auto, and it's in trouble. I can't just sit here and do nothing. That's all I've ever done. That's all anyone in this blasted ship has ever done. Nothing!
In terms of setting, both films give us large landscapes to look at. In the American version, it's a little bit more sensationalized, but in the Canadian version, again, we see the quirkiness coming out, the exaggerated characteristics that are not really realistic.